Hi there. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time to watch this quick video. My name is Kirsten Sherlock, and I'm a registered clinical counselor at Flourish Counseling in Port Moody, BC. I currently work with individual adults who are struggling with anxiety, stress, burnout, grief and loss, and trauma, and other life struggles. And the other part of my business is that I wanted to help support parents and children who fall under the neurodivergent umbrella, but more specifically ADHD, autism, anxiety, and or depression. So one of the frameworks that I utilize in my own practice is called NESTS, and it stands for Nutrition, Exercise, Sleep, Time for Self, and Support. When we kind of get down to our basic needs and incorporate that into how am I taking care of myself through nutrition or exercise, sleep, and do I get time for myself, and what does my support look like? It's really important to incorporate that into the practice of mental health and wellness. And so, what I wanted to do is bring Nest to life. And that's why I was able to collaborate with four other women who are going to meet here quickly, who are experts in each of these areas. So, I've got I'm working with a holistic nutritionist, a certified trainer, and a sleep expert, analyst, and a trauma educator, coach, and healer. And together, we've been able to put together this series that will support parents, but also children. And so we are really excited to be collaborating together and to be able to offer this online so that you can watch this whenever you want to, because we know how busy life can get. And we want to make this easy, but we also want to be able to offer support. You'll hear more about what I will be offering in my own video at the end of this. But in the meantime, let me introduce you to all these women. Thank you so much. Hi,
Hello.
Nicole.
Hi.
Hi. So tell us a bit about yourself,
Yeah,
what you
so
do.
I'm Nicole Shallow. I'm a behavior analyst and sleep specialist. A lot of my work is with the neurodivergent community, specifically autism, ADHD, and anxiety. My passion for sleep comes from a personal experience where my parents, I have a twin sister,
Mm.
we both struggled with sleep as toddlers, and I continued to struggle into teenagehood as well.
Mm.
And to this day, I have setbacks, and that's okay. So for me, that's for me. I want to be able to support parents, like just because my parents didn't have the support they needed, and it was a very stressful environment when we weren't sleeping, as well as the personal experiences with clients, watching clients or going to clients' homes in the morning, kids not sleeping, parents exhausted, kids having trouble with learning, emotion regulation. I just knew that sleep would help. And so I took to the science of behavior analysis and received support. And now I provide that service in the community of BC and globally. So, yeah.
Excellent. And so what can people expect when they are watching your video?
Yeah. So the video will be my top recommendations. I've noticed a pattern when I support families. There's always a phase one intervention, and it's very similar. So starting with understanding why sleep is a struggle for your child and having an opportunity to ask questions, kind of share your story so I can provide specific examples. Oh yeah, it's not letting me live. So I will take specific examples that I have had, and then strategies to support falling asleep, staying asleep, and creating a consistent, efficient sleep schedule for your child. And then moving into tips for daytime and evening routines. These will all complement the different talks from the emotional management, the exercise, the nutrition pieces. So sleep will definitely, be complementary to all of those.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Shannon Day, owner of LIFT Fitness and Physiotherapy. So tell us a bit about yourself.
So hi, I'm Shannon Day. I'm the owner of LIFT Fitness and Physiotherapy for the past 12 years, located in beautiful Port Moody. We have personal training here. We offer physiotherapy, group fitness as well. We believe strongly that movement is medicine. And so we believe strongly in that. Yeah.
Okay, and so what can people expect when they watch your video? Because one thing I remember you telling me, and I actually did not know this, is that you have specific exercises for children, with ADHD or autism, anxiety, right? Which I mean, I always thought exercises in a nutshell, right? It's just standard across the board. So I was really interested to hear about that, and I think that's some of what you were going to be sharing.
Well, absolutely. Like, so I believe fitness can be fun.
Mhm.
And as a family and as a family unit, making sure that fitness is fun and different and using different tools that you have around your house. So that will be what I'm talking about in the video, giving some tips about why exercise is so important and movement is so important, and for a family unit to come together, and why the movement is so important for that connection. And then I'll be providing 10 different activities that you can do at home that is fun and unique and different, and keeps fitness, people enjoying fitness, that fitness doesn't always have to be a chore. So yeah, that will be what I'm talking about in the video.
Perfect. And I like that you keep reiterating that it's meant to be fun too. Because when I used to
Absolutely.
think of exercise, I used to think of like just sweating and feeling pain, right? And it's like, no, it's not meant to be that way.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's just coming up with some creative ways on having that interaction within a family, that it doesn't need to be so, doing the burpees and push-ups and running a 12-minute mile. It can be so much more than that. And the connection piece is huge. So that will be what I'm focusing on in the video.
Perfect. Thank you, Shannon. So Jennifer Lloyd, yes, tell us about yourself.
I am, let's see, as a nutritionist, I've been working with parents and parents of children with ADHD, autism, anxiety, and depression for several years now.
Mhm.
But it actually goes back quite a bit further than that. And having firsthand experience raising a son with ADHD, from the beginning, he was challenged with colic, with asthma, allergies, eczema, hyperactivity, and of course, sleep problems, not to mention how it affected the rest of the family. So simply put, back then, ADHD wasn't well known like it is today, and doctors suggested pharmaceuticals, but I had reservations about that approach. So I embarked actually on a very long journey, digging deep into any research I could find and discovering that changes made to his diet and his lifestyle made all the difference.
Amazing.
All of these years of research and working one-on-one with my son, with experimenting with foods and lifestyle tweaks, it has ultimately led to this thriving practice as a holistic nutritionist. I've actually been working with clients. It started locally here in Port Moody, but I'm across Canada and all down through the States right now. The joys of
Amazing.
working virtually.
Yes, yes. And so what can people expect when they watch your video?
Lots of tips on food. And like Shannon, food needs to be fun.
Mhm.
It is one of the pleasures of life, but it's also food as medicine. And a lot of us don't realize how powerful food can be, and the choices of what's on our plate, how that affects our mood, how it affects our hyperactivity, how it calms the brain. It's all simple tricks that anybody can incorporate. And the beauty of all of this is it's as a family as well. It's not just specific foods for children. The rest of what I will be sharing is simple tips with our gut microbiome, which strains can really affect anxiety and ADHD, as well as using general food as medicine.
Excellent. And I mean, sure, obviously, with all of your experience personally, right, you can have so much insight and support for people who are viewing this. So I'm going to have to view it. I'm so excited to see it.
Great.
Thank you, Jennifer. So, Leah, tell us about you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Leah Morrison. I'm a trauma educator and a coach. And I've been working within the trauma field for about 8 years now. And that actually came about from my own child's diagnosis when he was about 2 months old. So not only have I been working within the trauma field, but also my son, who was diagnosed with epilepsy at 2 months old, has now fallen under the diagnosis of neurodevelopmental disorder. So he has touches of ADHD, autism, sensory processing, significant anxiety. And through learning how to navigate his health and wellness, I dove deep into research on how the science of our brain and our body connects through trauma responses. So I'm really excited to be a part of this and to bring in some trauma regulation tips and to help all of our children and parents alike be able to learn how to regulate their emotions and their body and understand what their body's saying to them. Because when we can do it together as a parent with a child, it can not only become a bonding experience, but it helps both of us feel safe in that moment when everything in the world feels incredibly overwhelming. So it's about creating that collaborative approach and also learning how to be an advocate for our own health and wellness within medical and mental health field that is not very user-friendly, especially in Canada. And so really recognizing how we can be curious within that approach, curious with our nutrition, our fitness, our sleep, our mental health, our anxiety, what our body is saying to us can really be an incredible game changer, not only as a family unit, but for each of us individually. So I'm very excited to be here and to be a part of this collaborative approach to be able to help parents and children feel better.
Yeah, yes, no kidding, right? And I think it's so important that we're looking at both aspects, not just the parents, not just the children, it's both together and it's working together. So amazing. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
And so I'm just going to finish up here for as you see the different pillars here, Leah and I are just kind of tackling the last few of the support, the time for self and stress management. And I'm just clarifying what I went through earlier in a better way. So anyways, the focus again is around the self-care, setting boundaries for ourselves, teaching our kids how to set boundaries when it's too much for them. Understanding the belief systems. A lot of times I hear from parents is I'm not doing enough, or, you know, the frustration around that, working with that. Understanding anxiety cycles. If we're working with children with anxiety, well, what is triggering them? What does that look like? How do they show that in behaviors? What are their thoughts? What are the emotions that come up? So getting into more detail around that. And then also, like, just following off of what Leah said, but just building a lot of confidence and resilience, not only for parents, but for kids too. So in a nutshell, I think we have, hopefully that's enough information for everybody. And if anybody wants more information or wants to discuss this more, I'm happy to have a discovery call. And you can reach out to me. My contact information is on my website, and I'm happy to discuss any details further. But thank you very much, ladies, for joining. We'll see you soon.